Hi everyone, welcome to Lucilva's Cooking. Today I'm going to prepare for you a very easy spaghetti dinner. I have preheated my large 11-inch in diameter salted pan on medium heat, and to that I'm going to add 1 pound of lean ground beef and 1.5 pounds of chuck. I'm going to break it up a little bit, not completely, because I like some chunks and I like a lot of meat in my spaghetti. I usually use ground round for this recipe, but they were out at the supermarket. So I'm going to, mix the lean with the ground chuck and see if I can get ground round out of it. Okay. I know this is an extra step, but I'm going to add a yellow onion, finely chopped. You don't have to add this, but I think the pasta would taste so much better with the onion. And also 4 large garlic cloves grated, and mix it up. To that I'll add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder to enhance the garlic flavor, 1 tablespoon of onion powder to enhance the onion, 1/2 tablespoon of garlic salt, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning. I'll leave a link in the description. 1 tablespoon of tomato bouillon with chicken flavor. If you don't want to use any bouillon, you don't have to. Or if you want to use beef bouillon, you may. Freshly ground black pepper. I'm adding about a teaspoon here. And stir. I have a few different spaghetti meat sauce recipes on my channel. One of them became very popular, if you want to check it out. I'll put a link in the description of this video. But this one right here, it's much easier this way. You don't get another pan dirty. Besides, you get to cook your starch in your sauce. Make it even thicker. And let this brown a bit. Seasoning is to your preference. If you don't like any of the seasonings I'm using here, you may replace with the seasonings of your choice. You may be thinking this is a lot of meat. If you want to use less meat, that's fine. I like a lot of meat in mine. I'm going to remove the excess fat from this because this is supposed to be a fast spaghetti, not a fat spaghetti. And continue cooking. Now, I'm going to add 45 ounces of ragu chunky garden combination sauce made with olive oil. I really like the flavor of this spaghetti sauce. You may use marinara if that's what you prefer, but I just think that this one tastes so much better and it's cheaper. Give it a little stir and fill the jar of spaghetti sauce with water. So I'm going to add to this because since we're cooking the pasta here, I want to make sure there's plenty of liquid for the pasta to cook in. And stir. I turn the heat up to high to let this come to a simmer quickly. To that, I'm going to add a package of thick and zesty spaghetti mix. There you go. I put a little water in the pack too, and add to that, and stir. I turn the heat down. I'm going to add 1 pound of spaghetti. You may use thin spaghetti or angel hair if that's what you prefer. And thin spaghetti will cook quicker. But make sure you separate this. You don't want it to stick. Break it up. See how much liquid there is? Enough liquid to cook it with a large enough pan. So while it simmers, I'm going to make garlic bread. I'm going to make a garlic butter for my garlic bread. So I'm going to add 8 teaspoons of salted butter. You may use unsalted if you wish. 2 large garlic cloves grated. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And give it a good mix. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. And this is the time to add any fresh herbs you like. You may add a little parsley. I'm adding some chives because that's what I have in my garden. and mix it up. The oven is preheating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Here I have one French bread loaf that I cut lengthwise and then in half. And I'm going to spread the garlic butter all over them, like so. So much better than the frozen garlic bread you get at the store. Make sure you get the edges too, all the edges, because they're crunchy, they need a little butter. And do the same to all 4 pieces. I lined up a large cookie sheet and I'm going to place the bread and bake this for 10 to 15 minutes or until the edges are brown and crispy. The pasta is done. It's wonderful. It's absolutely delicious. Now I just have to turn off the heat and wait for the garlic bread. I just love a thick spaghetti meat sauce like this. Isn't it so much better with extra sauce and extra meat? Look how hearty, thick, full of body. I love it. Absolutely wonderful. The extra meat really makes it. This is a great way to cook pasta. A little more. There's no other way for me. How about you? A little of the delicious garlic bread. Nothing like homemade garlic bread. And you may also add a little Parmesan cheese to the top, or parsley if that's what you like. I'm going to dig in. Fantastic. Ooh. Thick and hearty and zesty and so flavorful. Easy, quick. The pasta was actually ready before the garlic bread. And speaking of which, delicious. Crispy. And if you don't want to make the entire loaf of garlic bread, you may freeze half of it before baking. I hope you try my wonderful, thick and hearty one-pot spaghetti meat sauce recipe with my homemade garlic bread. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.